What is up, Gunnies? Gun Story in here. Really interesting pistol that I think is a perfect way to start collecting. We have the Ortgies, made in Germany. These were only made in the early 20s for a few years, and because of the Treaty of Versailles after World War I, Germany's pistol production and arms production was very limited. Was only able to produce them for a few years before they were shut down and they had to sell off most of their stock to pay for reparations. And so they chambered them in 3 different calibers. This one is chambered for 6.35mm by 16 or 25 ACP. They also chambered them in 2 other calibers, and each pistol was subsequently larger as the caliber grew. So we have 32 ACP. 32 holds 8 shots because it's a bit bigger. And then the 25 ACP, or the 6.35mm by 16, holds 7 shots. It lets you get 2 fingers on there with the trigger finger. The 25 is the smallest of the bunch, a 3rd caliber, although at the time in Germany, this was considered a military caliber. 380 or 9mm Kurz, 9mm short. And 9mm Kurz was considered a military caliber, and so that 380 couldn't be sold in the German market. And that was another thing because of the Treaty of Versailles that was imposed upon Germany. They couldn't sell these 380s, so a lot of the times when you do see a 380, it'll be a little bit bigger, and a lot of times it'll be marked Germany here on the underside because it had to be sold for export, and so it had to be export marked that it came from Germany. They're a good entry level for the hobby. And they came in 3 different calibers, and they also came in 3 different finishes. They did blued finish, a matte nickel finish like this, and a chrome nickel finish. And so you'll find a lot of these in the American market because they had to liquidate their stocks in the American market and sell them for pennies on the dollar. I think they sold 2 different blocks, one for 67 cents and one for like 75 cents. And so you'll see a lot of these in the United States, and that's why you can get them for such a good deal because there's so many of them. This here is the less common matte nickel finish, and it came from the factory like this. They also had a chrome nickel finish that was much shinier. But the thing is, you got to be careful about the nickel guns because a lot of the guns that were brought back after World War II were nickel plated as war souvenirs just to make them pop a little more. And so in order to determine that the pistol that you're looking at is going to be factory original, you want to look at the small parts such as the Here Release magazine clasp, the trigger, and you can see a little bit still on there, that straw coloring, how it's kind of yellow, grip safety release, and the extractor. If it looks a little fishy and you're not sure if it's original finish, to check out those small parts for the nickel guns, you can have your answer. I want to take a moment to talk about this grip safety, because the thing that makes this grip safety unique is it's a captive grip safety. So once you compress it once, it stays compressed. Whereas normal grip safeties, you have to continuously apply the pressure to deactivate the grip safety. This was actually patented, I believe, and that perhaps is why we haven't seen it before. And in a way, it kind of defeats the purpose of a grip safety because the whole point is when you're grasping it, is it ready to fire. Yet when you grasp this once, it's ready. But it's still a unique feature and something that I hadn't ever seen before with a captive grip safety. A sight channel with some pretty minuscule sights. But honestly, this is a pistol you wouldn't even consider shooting past, 25 yards at the most. It is worthy to note that in the 1921 shooting championships in Germany, the first place winner, and I think it was like 70% of the participants, used an Ortgies pistol. And so they're renowned for their accuracy despite having pretty horrendous sights. This is kind of the shinier, high-polished nickel you'll see on the other variation that you see in this magazine. All the magazines, despite the finish, were nickel plated like this, with a shiny nickel. And the late versions are marked as such with the D/cat symbol. It's kind of a sitting down cat in the shape of a D for Deutsche Werke, the company who made these after Ortgies was bought out. And then the caliber 6.35. All the other ones will be marked with a different symbol on one of the slab sides of the magazines. And those are the earlier magazines. And that's how you can tell this is a little bit of a later magazine or the last iteration of magazine. But let's not get off the track too far. They are a fun little pistol and a good way to start your collecting for those collectors who might want to dip their toes in the water and get a little taste of what the old school is like. That's it for me, guys. That's it for now. But there'll be next time.